right, we are back with our D3, D6 series where we've got some old Indians, we've got some Philidor. All right, he's given us a center, so we'll take it. I want to make sure that when trades, the queen trade doesn't happen. And we've got a transposition into French type lines. Okay, I feel the need to go ahead and go knight gf3. If he goes bishop c5, he's looking for knight g4. So we need to get the bishop out of there. And I kind of want to go bishop c4 because it's a better square. And we have options. So I'm going to take our options. How now? Okay, if I simply go h3, I feel like I'm going to be in good shape. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen c5. Covering everything. I feel that my opponent is over optimistic here. Simply going to do that. I want to move the knight. I want to trade because I'm up material. If I move the knight immediately, I'd be losing the e-pawn. These pieces aren't quick to activate. Actually, that seems more accurate because we're putting more pressure here. And if the queens come off the board, the game is done. If he goes queen g3, I go queen takes g5. And this is GG. I have much too much in the position. Let's go ahead and probe weaknesses, get ready for rook lifts. All right, yeah, we'll trade down as we're up a full piece. We just want to be as clean as possible here. Let's tidy things up, shall we? Okay, we'll take that one, and rooks are meant to go on open files. That looks like that could work pretty well. Seems like that would suffice to win another pawn and trade down further. And let's go here. And look for lifts. Lots of pain coming. Not worried about that too much anyway. Okay, so not covering that square yet. We throw in this move first just to see what he does. If he goes king h6, we have knight g4, and if he goes there, don't I just have that? I do. Fishing. Fishing. All right, let's do some quick analysis of that. And we got a French type position. And I actually have lines like this covered in my Master of the French Defense course. Bishop d3 was supposed to be more accurate. Okay. And knight c6. And knight c4. Good square for the knight. Everybody's linking up. You can tell in the database white has scored pretty well here. You normally still want to go c3 with the idea of b4 to keep the knight out of d4. If they go bishop g4, h3 is completely fine. You're happy to make these trades. And also c3 again. Necessary move to keep pieces out of d4, specifically black c6 knight. Bishop c4 seemed okay, but when I saw knight g4 and especially queen d6, something felt fishy. And I think my opponent just hallucinated that there was going to be some sort of attack here. But you need to be calm in the face of an attack because a lot of the time, attacks just simply don't work. And then notice the rest of the game is me making very simple threats. With the extra piece, not much can be done about it. Oh, I missed the mate in 4. Yeah, because that's an obvious calculation, but I went faster than the computer did. How about that? All right, let's do another one. And we've got it very open with the rating range. We got Mr. How's It Going? 1d6. We don't mind trading queens, but if they allow it, we'll get the structure. And you know what, for instructive purposes, normally I would keep the knight as it's more winning chances, but we're going to play the structure to go ahead and get this type of play out of the way. c6 is important because it's going to keep knight out of squares, and we can tuck our nugget away on c7. Now, this knight isn't exactly the best. We want him out of the way to play f6 to shore up our structure. But first, before going knight d7, I'm going to put the bishop on e6 since he's relocated from this diagonal. Now that could bother that, so let's go here. f6, very natural, normal development. Now, I kind of want the d3 square in some lines, but no hurry with it. King c7. And this is the optimal or ideal structure. Okay. Without knights, there's no tactics, but I'm behind a development. I don't like the knight sitting there, and I'm going to have the opponent make a decision. It's an equal position, especially with the knights coming off the board, but there's room to finesse your opponent even with the symmetrical pawn structure. There's no 3 versus 2 or anything like that here, but we'll see how the position goes. And sometimes your opponent will allow the position to continue. Now my knight's far superior to his, and after knight d3, the b pawn is looking like a goner, or his bishop pair looks like a goner, or both. Let's go ahead and grab that. And everything fell apart quite quickly there. So the main thing I want you to get down is this is generally going to be the structure when there is, say, this early trade on e5. And you go, well, he took my queen. Okay, with the queens off the board, your king's safe. And with a centralized king, it's in-game, is where you're headed. So keep in mind that it's like this is the optimal picture that we're looking for when the queens come off the board. This pawn structure for black is the ideal for solidity. So that'll do it. We'll have, let's see, 1 or 2 more games on this set. And as we're hitting some more structures here, and look at that, we're in the Sicilian. Yep. Super solid. There's our picture. Now I need to get this bishop developed. And I like the idea of contesting this guy. So I'm going to go a3 first. I'm not going to go b4 to hang the pawn yet. Okay, so once I see this move that says that he wants to go a4, and I may have to swap up my plan, I'm going to go queen c2 with the idea of b3. I feel like a4 should have been played to stop b3. So now when I get this in, I have my nice wall of pawns, and I'm going to go bishop b2 to contest his bishop, and we can slowly improve in the position because I feel like the opponent is going to be over-optimistic by our slow play here. Maybe something like f5 is something he could consider. And I'm just going to get the bishop out of the way for the rook to be more active. f5 or d5 are the natural breaks. And let's go ahead and do that. That seems like it's getting weaker. That's a terrible move as it's going to give him that square forever. So let's go ahead and drop this knight in here. I need to watch this other knight, though. So the e6 pawn is hanging, but let's double down. And knight e6 is a big threat that's going to fork his queen and rook. And all we did was stay compact, and our opponent lashed out and has made some serious weaknesses in the position, and the game falls apart now without too much effort. Ooh, there's all sorts of things here. I really like the idea of knight takes c5, not knight takes f8 to discover on the queen. Huh. Lots of ideas. And sometimes you just have to make a decision. This is a position I'd love to just sit and think in, but I'm going to go with my first reaction of this complicated variation. And he allowed us to go back, so we've got a pawn in hand. Same threat. And this time I'm going to do this because now I'm hitting that rook, and I'm threatening knight d5. Okay, that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So let's go ahead and drop our boy on d5. And the pain is finding our opponent here. Let's go there. That seems playable. If he takes there, I take there, and if not, check. I'm hoping for knight d4, takes, rook e7 with the pin and the win. Probably not my best move, but I can... Ooh, I thought I had a better check than that. It works, though, because if takes, I'm taking the bishop at the end. Queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, and now queen b2, I need to cover that pawn. And I have the pin. And this should be it. Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. And again, we just get our structure. And then as soon as I get the structure, I start making a plan in the position. And in this case, I don't see, say, like a rook e1, knight f1 plan where the bishop comes out to be as useful here. I mean, I could definitely consider a4 with the idea of knight c4, but natural breaks in these positions, d5, b5, f5. And my knight is going to be kicked from 2 out of the 3 natural breaks. So I didn't like that so much. And it's, even with this bishop coming out, it's going to be an open position. So bishop f4 is going to run into e5. Bishop g5 is going to run into h6. And then I'm just helping him with his plan and kicking me around. So I felt like the optimal place for this bishop is on b2. So a3 probably wasn't as accurate as, say, queen c2 immediately. The engine likes knight b3. But a3, I felt a4 was most accurate. And then I need to play b4 anyway. I was just going to go rook e1 and come back to this type of solid plan, and felt that my opponent outplayed me if a3, a5 was definitely best. Maybe queen c2, and then rook b1 is an idea. so we can push the pawn. And you can still go a3, b3, bishop b2, and you get the same kind of setup that we get in the main game. And I'm not too worried about the eval, as we've made a bunch of passive moves to just get a universal position. And after this, knight c4, which was fishing, we got what we were looking for. And I was curious about the tactics here. It just wants me to take the rook, but I was gaming for more, and that's the thing. You can typically get away with more in faster time controls. Let's see. Knight e7 immediately was better. Oh, wow. Queen f6. That could have saved my opponent. Missed that idea. Queen d2, on the other hand, is just completely fine. Yeah. Rook e8 with mate. All right. So I think that's going to do it for video 2. And we've hit on a few more structures within the 1d3 or with black 1d6 complex. And we'll see some more in future videos and hopefully hit on some of those structural and middle game ideas that'll help you be able to put this opening into motion if you're just looking to play some games without knowing too much theory.